everyone, we're back with another Age of Empires 4 game. Glad you could join me. Once again, I'm playing as the Abbasid Dynasty, and I'm up against Solid 8. My opponent's going to be playing as the Holy Roman Empire, and let's just fast forward through this beginning section of the game. The map is French Pass, so pretty much on the opposite side of the map over here. That's my opponent's starting area. And there's two lines of mountains that cut through the map, and that creates this valley through the center with lots of gold and sacred sites. The perimeter of the map is completely clear, so you can send units along these side paths if I wanted to attack my opponent, but it's pretty easy to wall off your sort of third of the map. Imagine plopping down a wall right here, equivalent wall over here, and now I control this third of the map. It's a good strategy, especially if you're trying to tech up, hit some timing. And I suspect that that's what my opponent is going to do. Holy Roman Empire players, they like that fast tech strategy, gathering up as much food and gold as they can, then teching to the next stage, getting the Regnitz Cathedral, when going to the Castle Age, grabbing some relics, and then advancing to the Imperial Age. I'm not sure how effective that strategy is here on this map, because you really only get 2 gold deposits on your third of the map, and if you want more gold, you have to go into the valley here, the center. I'm doing my standard opener while I'm teching up to the second age. I'm desperately trying to get some stone, desperately trying to get more wood, planning on getting that second town center going. I see my opponent starting to build a wood wall here. I block it with my scout. That way the villager kind of glitches out and can't continue building the wall. Meanwhile, my other scout, checking out what he's got. I spot a barracks, I spot a minework palace. Not the Aachen Chapel. When I saw this, I assumed my opponent wasn't teching as fast as I thought. This meant he could put together a small force, and there's a spearman to chase away my scout. So I'm saying to myself, maybe my opponent isn't going to go straight into the Castle Age. How do I adjust for that? Well, I decide definitely get down to archery ranges. And let's send a force of archers out to see what's going on over there. The wall? This is kind of a conflicting strategy from my opponent. Why go minework and get a barracks if you're just going to wall off your chunk of the map? This communicates to me a fast-standing army, but the wall says I'm going to turtle and tech up. So I had kind of conflicting information coming from my opponent. I decided to send the scout around to see if my opponent walled this section off, probably going to try to wall this off. So I wanted my scout to be there to be pesky and annoying. There's the second archery range. I decide, well, if my opponent has a barracks, maybe we can tempt him to pump out some units in response to aggression from me. So I start rallying archers over to his base. I'm making a lot of villagers. I hit the Golden Age tier 1. and I'm hoping that my income will start to surpass his. The archers head out. Spot 2 of his spearmen. This was a good catch. These spearmen probably could have done more if they were sent somewhere else. It's pretty easy to just sort of kite them around, have them chase one archer while the rest deal enough damage. While I was circling, I actually find this outpost, but kind of pointless to have my archers attack it. So I decided to send them forward to his wall, where I'm going to build a battering ram. Spot some spearmen over here. Not sure what they were up to. Thought it might have been a villager to build a wall, but yeah, there's the villager to build walls. My guess here is I'll harass a little bit, basically have this battering ram break through his wall, and then see what he can respond with. And from there, try to get my archers into his base and attack some of the resource gathering points. My overall game plan still is get to Castle Age and then secure a spot near my opponent's base. Maybe here. Yeah, probably here because it's closest to his base. Probably here and build siege engineering workshop, and then have the workshop make trebuchets and just burst into his base at the Castle Age. Similar thing here, I block the wall with my scout, although it looks like when I move my scout, the villager gets right back to work, unfortunate. So now I'm knocking down the wall. Should get through it pretty shortly. These battering rams do good work. I'm house blocked, need to get some houses down. And I say to myself, well, if I'm on the offense here, I could probably expand and take some more resource areas. But his response is a bunch of early man-at-arms. I don't really have a counter to this. I retreat some archers, I tuck some into the battering ram, then I pull them out, break through the wall, and try to run into his base for scouting or to maybe kill some villagers. These archers really need to run home. They're dealing maybe 1-2 damage a shot to these men-at-arms. They are completely useless against them. Unfortunately, he 6 more men-at-arms on my archers, and we're unable to really... I mean, I could try to take some shots at these villagers, but the men-at-arms are going to catch up. Okay, start to retreat. I decide, okay, now's my chance to get to Castle Age, but I need to defend against this small force of man-at-arms, so I decide I'll throw up one outpost, and maybe we can defend that way with enough archers. Starting to lose a lot of information about my opponent, but I'm still harassing. I sent a different force of archers to the opposite side to do the exact same strategy. The man-at-arms, I mean, look at how tanky they are. And they definitely have armor upgrades from the Minework Palace. Yeah, they're researching more and more. Yeah, ranged armor. They're very resistant to these bows. But they're eventually going to get tickled down. They'll just be turned into pincushions. So not really any damage there. Battering ram breaks through here. I want to send these archers in, again, to just sort of scout and harass villagers if we find them at some of these external resource collection spots. So here, maybe here, or here. Though I do run into some spearmen right away. Should make quick work of them, but if any men-at-arms show up, not much I can do about that. Once I make it to Castle Age, the plan is build up more military. Yep, I'm doing that here. Decide to put down a stable. If my opponent keeps making man-at-arms, it'd be a good idea to mix in some lancers. Gain another archer range and only one barracks because I really just want crossbowmen and lancers to take care of all the men-at-arms that my opponent's going to make. Also gonna try to get that preservation of knowledge, and then I'll set up my forward operation with hopefully a siege workshop and maybe a keep, and then take advantage of the gold here and try to capture the sacred sites. Losing my battering ram here, the archers are pretty much done for, and my greediness for this berry patch is going to get punished. Although, fortunately, I pull the villagers away. Would really like to see this preservation of knowledge researched. Let's see the unit composition that I've got. Okay, starting to get some crossbowmen out. Got a lancer. Should be able to push out this small force. Fortunately, I kept a scout back here, so if I wanted to do a run by of his base to just see what he's got, I can do that. Oh, really got to get that preservation of knowledge. Income, we're pretty even on food. I'm way ahead in wood, and my opponent's ahead in gold, though I am collecting a little bit of stone. This is a good man-at-arms killing force. The Lancer will tank most of the damage while the crossbowmen do the work. These archers aren't really going to do any damage to them, but they can at least toss a little bit of damage out. Yeah, this is a good force right here. Knights or Lancers with crossbowmen. That's great. Okay, now we're getting the preservation of knowledge. Good. Using my scout that I tucked away to look for gaps, although it looks like some opponents there, or some enemy units there. This right here, unfortunately, this force, while it's great against man-at-arms, can't really take down buildings. So it's not a bad idea to mix in a battering ram with this force. I think that's what I do here. Oh, it looks like I actually send them forward, since didn't find this as much of a threat. Oh yeah, I saw some man-at-arms here, and I figured, why waste my time on this when I could be knocking down all these troops? Now this looks like a bad matchup. His troops are well upgraded. My Lancer is getting taken down. But this is a lot of crossbowmen. 5 crossbowmen versus this force. And we take out his scout down here. Believe it or not, I'm going to win this battle handily. Opponent makes it to Castle Age. And I'm sending my force forward to try and start up that forward base. So you may see some villagers start to get sent out that way. Hopefully a sizable number of them. Putting farms down. Good balance. Take villagers off of the lumber, throw down a bunch of food, and yeah, there's some villagers that are heading out to make the forward base. Looks like I find an outpost. I toss down a mangonel in case I run into a large force of man-at-arms and archers. And it looks like my force of archers, which won over here, I actually sent them through the gap in the wooden wall, and I'm sending them out to harass. But that's really just a distraction so that I can secure this area. Good to see the blacksmith working. Now that I've gotten the cheap technology, would definitely like to get all these quick upgrades. Camel riders, in retrospect, I should not have gone for. I was worried maybe my opponent would go some form of cavalry and wanted to mix some of them in. But the stats for the Lancer is just so much better, so I would much rather do Lancers instead of Camel Archers. These are strong man-at-arms, 155 health. Looks like getting upgrades on them. And with the Regnitz Cathedral finish, now it becomes a game of collecting relics as quickly as we can. I actually... Yes, I grabbed one relic already with my Imam. Should probably tuck that away and try to get these others off the map. Okay, I grab another up here. That's good. Definitely want to get those off the map and available. Oh, there's a... Looks like I'm building a battering ram over here with this small force. Great. Oh, this is actually a passageway. I didn't realize that. Huh. Looks like my imam can actually take a little shortcut back to the mosque. So here's the forward base. I believe I purchased stone from my market to get this keep up. Once the keep's up, I feel good. Now I can put down a siege workshop and probably a mining camp so that I can start working on this gold vein. This force right here, great versus man-at-arms and archers. I figure I can start working on the wall with this mangonel. It'll take a while, but it'll create a big gap for us to go through. Meanwhile, we're taking down his vision around the map. I think this battering ram is queued up to destroy this outpost and then this outpost up on the hill. And I'm re-walling off. No need to give my opponent a free path into my base. And with 3 relics taken off the map, I'm telling myself I'm winning this because my opponent has to come into the middle of the map to gather gold. If I can keep pressure up here and defend this area, if I occasionally send scouts through the center of the map, I can find out when my opponent might be trying to make a move for some of these gold spots. I'm already done with one of my gold patches, and my other is starting to get whittled away. My opponent is going to start to get gold starved. Upgrades looking good. Looks like I've queued up a few more. They're dirt cheap, what with the preservation of knowledge upgrade. Mostly pumping crossbowmen, archers. Ooh, he makes a counterforce here. Pure man-at-arms. 9 of them. I really wish I had walled this off earlier. I say to myself, okay, probably gonna have to send a force to deal with them. So I grab a handful of, just a bunch of crossbowmen, send them back around my side of the map. The trebuchet is out. We're working on his wall. And I can send in this force to, again, scout his base, harass, do some damage. The battering ram, which knocked down the towers, moving on to his wall. Looks like he upgraded to stone. I lose some villagers here. The gold vein they were working on. I decide to relocate my villagers. This is practically already chopped out, so I just send them down this way. And I figure my force of man-at-arms killers are going to show up soon. Venturing into his base, I don't even realize that I'm walking past a huge cluster of man-at-arms and spearmen. The mangonel does a good shot, but I really need to back these siege units up towards the keep. The keep is doing good damage. If I can keep these alive with some repairs, that'd be great. Would love to see me save this trebuchet. Yeah, it looks like they'll probably go down before they can do anything. I lose my force of units, and now I'm worried there might be a flood of units coming in. So I send another force forward to try and hold this area. Probably need more mangonels. Yeah, maybe 2 more mangonels would be nice right now. I believe I can afford it. Yeah, 2 mangonels would be great. My force cleans up the man-at-arms down here, and I decide to tack on more military production. I figure more stables and some more barracks would be nice. I see the army, I retreat back. This is going to be rough. I should probably pull these trebuchets back. But it looks like I have them attacking the outpost in the back. I like my unit composition, but he's got more people, likely with better upgrades, so I should probably retreat. And again, these camel riders are not ideal. Would rather see lancers here. definitely need to pull everything back. He wisely targets my trebuchets, though I was able to put on the spring ult emplacement on this keep. So if they fight under this keep, it's game over for them. Yeah, now I'm feeling confident with some more troops. Dropping another mangonel. Yeah, look at this, 230, 270 on the Camel Rider, but the Camel Rider basically gets no armor at all, whereas the Lancers get just a huge bonus to their armor. I decided to start trading. If this game continues to go late, then I'd like that extra gold, especially if all the gold in the center of the map is going to be highly contested. So I was really happy to start making some of these traders. They are cheaper. They are a lot cheaper for the Abbasid than they are for other civilizations. More blacksmith upgrades, love to see it. I got the keep healing, so if my injured military units would back up and go near the keep, they'll actually be healed. And now I'm in his base. I don't see any more enemies. I've got a huge anti-infantry force here. Mangonel, archers, securing the sacred site. I'm feeling good. Should probably finish this wall off and try to scout around this area of the map. Though I'm fairly confident, just from some of my units running through, that he doesn't have any mining camps set up. I figure he's probably money starved, and when I see him reach the Imperial Age, I know that this is the perfect time to strike. He's spent all of his money. I've got this huge force. What can he do? He makes a good play here. He tries to go for a conversion, but we just knock everything down. This is such an anti-infantry force with even spring ult backup. I say to myself, okay, if it's just buildings, I don't see any infantry, I'm gonna have my crossbowmen build battering rams. These can work on the buildings. Similarly, got another battering ram over here, because why not keep the pressure up on both sides? I do a little bit of market selling and advance to the next stage. I'm going to go trade wing, get the spice roads, get the Grand Bazaar. Should have gotten agriculture maybe before moving up to the next stage, but whatever. 36 idle villagers, it's because we chopped down the whole forest. So got to send them elsewhere. Now the battering rams are going to work. Really like having lots of battering rams in this fight, so I just make even more, because why not? I haven't seen an answer to all these siege units. If I saw spring ults coming forward, then I would maybe rethink my strategy, but as it is, the siege units are doing work. 3 relics still secure. I don't think I saw any in his regnants, actually. Let's see. I don't know if he even took this one. Wow, yeah, no relics. He used this one offensively for conversion. Yep. And then this one still remained here. At this point, the game feels pretty over. I'm all over his base. His production centers are gone. I'm moving on to his landmarks. I've got a strong stream of traders. I'm ready for the late game. When this finishes and we go to Imperial, I can continue upgrades from the blacksmith, get my university down, grab those upgrades I mentioned, and continue to expand through the center of the map. Doesn't get there though. Opponent surrenders there. Really think my opponent needed a narrower strategy, or maybe more of a focused timing, but sort of some skirmishes at the beginning led to my advantage, and my castle push just ended it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.